Today I will be giving a presentation on psychological factors and performance horses and how these psychological factors affect a horse's performance. So first, we're going to cover why psychological health is important, how to test psychological health, training versus performance environment, and signs of a horse that is not psychologically healthy. So first of all, why is psychological health so important? So everyone invests their time and money into researching the genetics and physical aspects of a horse and what aspects make the horse a better performance animal, but psychological health is just as important as those other factors. A psychologically healthy horse will be happier and healthier, and these factors will lead to a better performance from the horse. So psychological health should be important to anyone that has performance horses and wants to succeed in the performance horse industry. A psychologically healthy horse will also develop fewer stereotypies, and this could be like wood chewing, cribbing, or weaving, any of those kinds of things. So investing in the psychological health of a horse is a good investment to save your equipment and to just have a healthier, happier horse. So first, we're going to look at how these researchers tested psychological health. They tested this by looking at temperament of the horse, mood, and emotional reactions. So the temperament of the horse is shaped by their genotype and early experiences they have. Mood is a temporary state that they are in, just like the mood of a person. And emotional reactions are the immediate response to an event, like a horse bucking, rearing, spooking, anything like that. So first, the researchers looked at temperament of the horse. So they looked at sensitivity to aversion, sensitivity to reward and punishment, and sociability of the horse and how they reacted when they were in isolation. So they looked at temperament in these young horses and then looked at them later on after they were performance horses. And they found that temperament is actually pretty difficult to measure, and it could be due to just different circumstances or the horse just maturing like all horses do, and their temperament changes. So how a horse acts when they are young does not necessarily determine how they act when they are older. So next, the researchers looked at emotional reaction and mood. To do this, they measured the horse's heart rate and how it varied, and then they paired the different heart rates with how the horse was behaving at the time. Some horses perform better when they have a higher heart rate, and some perform better when they have a lower heart rate. And this varies from horse to horse because every horse is an individual. And so this helped them to kind of look at how a horse would perform in a show environment, because a horse that performs better with a higher heart rate will probably perform better in a show environment because it does increase their stress and heart rate. And then a horse that performs better with a lower heart rate might not do as well as a performance horse because the stress is negative for them. So to tie in with that, the researchers looked at how training environment is different from performance environment and how that affects the horse's performance. So training environment is an everyday environment for the horse, so this gives them little to no stress because they're very used to working there every day and they're used to it. Performance environment increases the horse's excitability and stress, but this reaction they'll have can be predicted by psychological testing, as I talked a little bit about earlier. So the researchers also looked at adaptations the horse used to have that are no longer of any purpose, and adaptations the horse doesn't have for the environment that it lives in now. Psychological health depends a lot on how a horse is housed, so that's why they looked at this. Some traits, such as flight response, ability to form affiliative bonds, and ability to exist on poor quality roughage, no longer serve a useful purpose for the horse because they are protected. They don't really need to form bonds because people will take care of them and watch out for them. And also we can buy them better quality food, so they don't need to be able to survive on poor quality food. But there are also some challenges such as social isolation, confinement, limited foraging, and feeding of rich concentrates that the horses are not suited for. And these challenges can lead to a horse developing stereotypies. So horses are used to being in a herd, so social isolation can cause them stress as well as confinement because they used to be able to walk around with their herd. And also being in a stall prevents them from grazing all day, which can upset their digestive system as well as feeding of rich concentrates. And all of this gives the horse stress and can cause them to be not psychologically healthy, which will affect their performance. So signs of a not psychologically healthy horse are stereotypies. They can develop from inadequate grazing time, transportation, like to a show or to a new place to live, over-exercise, and insufficient reward for the work that they are doing. And the researchers also found that competitively and intensely managed young horses are most likely to develop these behaviors because they're most likely kept in a stall so they don't get hurt, limited grazing so they can stay in shape, and they're always confined because they don't want them to get hurt. So they aren't kept the way a horse that's psychologically healthy would be kept. So to get rid of these behaviors that are detrimental to the horse's psychological health, horse should spend more time grazing and socializing, and this increased psychological health will lead to an overall better performance horse, which is what everyone is aiming for when they have performance horses. So psychological health will increase the horse's performance. So, in conclusion, investing in performance horses' psychological health will lead to a better performance. Temperament, mood, and emotional reaction all play a part in psychological health and also will help you figure out if your horse is suited to being a performance horse or not. Signs of a not psychologically healthy horse are stereotypies such as cribbing, wood chewing, and weaving. And getting rid of these stereotypies, which is also just increasing the horse's psychological health, will lead to better psychological health and performance of your horse.